Chris Burns from SlashGear. They were looking at the HTC Vivid. This is one of two smartphones coming from AT&T that has their connectivity to their new LTE network. And what we're going to do today is look at the device as well as a few other HTC devices just to show you what you are dealing with when it comes to HTC. Right now we're looking at the startup sequence on the HTC Vivid. Once it gets done, we're going to start looking through the device, and then we'll look through the other devices as well. As you can see, it just has AT&T look there with a little bit of HTC in the front. Inside you can see we're running HTC Sense 3.0. That's nearly the newest version. The HTC Sense 3.5 is the newest version to come out. Let's go straight into the camera. Here you can see that there is a pretty generally a normal camera app going on, but the thing I want to show you here is that pictures are essentially taken instantaneously. It took less than a second to get to that photo, and there it is. It's really nice. Their camera app, their camera application, and ability to take different photos in different sorts of light situations, etc., is really great at this point. I'm going to go to scenes, and here you can get different sorts of photos. You can get portrait, landscape, action. The two things I use most often are low light and close up. That's just your macro mode. I'll go to low light here just to show you. It sort of brightens up. Let's actually go back to like beach. You can see it gets darker. Low light gets lighter, and it actually works quite well. Inside the review you'll see a couple of photos that were taken in low light, and you'll see that they look pretty nice. Now here on the desktop you can see that we have a very familiar look for HTC. It has a bunch of widgets on the front pages that you've seen before from HTC. The bottom looks very similar to what we've seen all year here in 2011. In your apps drawer, this is mostly what you get. I've added a few different things like Antutu things and CF Bench. Those are all benchmarking applications that I've added. Otherwise, you've got AT&T applications here that you've seen before. There's one new application called Car Panel. If you go to Car Panel, you'll see that there are a few icons that you're able to use if you use a car dock in your vehicle. You're able to get to these apps, navigation, voice search, things that you'd use in the car. Now the only way you're able to get out of this is to go to your menu and exit out. That way you're not jumping out on accident. Low on battery. Here's the same app again, featured apps that's been showing up a lot on AT&T devices lately. First time we saw it was on the Galaxy S2. We have gallery, footprints. Footprints is just a basic GPS sort of thing you get on HTC devices where you're able to tap that you've been there, and then you're able to track wherever you've put your own footprint. Friend Stream is the thing that works with all your things like Facebook and Twitter. Not quite G+ yet, but it's quite nice. You can get to different just the gallery or just links or etc. like that. Back out. Mog is a thing that's sort of like what we've seen recently with Spotify, where you're able to get music wherever you are. You can download music and you get to get a subscription. AT&T, more AT&T apps there. HTC Hub to get media. Again, Quadrant Advanced, Snow Route, Screenshot It. Those are things that I added. NSF Shift comes with the device. That's to play. You can race. You have to download the game. You have to download the full version of the game before you get to it. I'll show you here. It just says because it's such a large application, they don't put it all on there at once. You have to go through and download it. Quick you can use for video chat. Twitter, the official Twitter app comes with the device. Stocks, navigation, news, Google stuff. Over here you have visual voicemail and YouTube and Yellow Pages. So essentially this is just a basic HTC device. When I say basic, I don't mean that it's by any means low class. It's obviously a high-end device. Go into settings here just to show you that we are running the newest of essentially everything. Let's go into software information. We have HTC Sense 3.0, Android version 2.3.4. Back out here, and the last thing I want to show you just on this device is the battery information. That's what I wanted to show you. Side battery. This is the only things that I'm really hesitant about, is that, as you can see, this device has only been on for 6 hours and it's nearly down to 0. It didn't start at top, but it collapses rather quickly. And as you can see, the Wi-Fi has been on the entire time, but as it's awake, it sort of goes down pretty quickly. I'm not sure if that's because of the 4G. I don't think so, since the phone signal isn't really, as you can see, isn't green the entire time, so it's not like it's sucking it out, but it's pretty quick to drain so far. So now on the design of this device, it's an HTC device, which makes you expect that it look like the rest of the HTC devices from 2011, but it is sort of a derivative design. Now you can see that it has sort of edges that are sharp. On the back you have a single panel that pops off, and this is aluminum. Really nice. Aluminum there. You have your 8 megapixel camera with the 2 flashes there, LED. This little thing right here is a little switch. Your back panel here has a little metal piece that'll tell your device whether the panel is on or not. And in here you have a card slot. I put a card in there. It doesn't come with a card, micro SD card. You have your LTE SIM card there. On the side you have your micro USB. On the top you have your headphone jack and power, and then all that's left is your volume right there. There are 2 mics, one on top and one all the way on the bottom, right there. And slide this back on just to show you. This is what I would say is one of 2 rather different designs that have come out from HTC inside 2011. Now we started 2011 with this AT&T device, the Inspire. It's, when you put one next to another, you can see how they're coming from the same family, but they are quite a bit different. On the side here, you pull this off and you get your battery. On the bottom, you have your SIM card and your micro SD. Under this panel, the camera is centered rather than putting it on the side. 2 flashes there. There's your tiny speaker. This is also from AT&T. This device is still on sale, and in fact, you can get it from Best Buy right now for free if you buy, I can't remember what game it is, but you can buy a game and you get this for free. But much more rounded, much more made to sit in your hand very comfortably. This is very similar to the device. Where did I put it now? I put it somewhere else. Well, let's just go straight over to the Sensation. This is a device that came out much closer to now, near the end of 2011. This device is, as you can see down the line, they continue to get much more rounded. It's a very round device. There's even the features in the back are even rounded up like that. There's 2 mics here, mics everywhere. The back, when you take the back of this device off, the whole thing comes off rather than just a panel. And again, just rounds everywhere. Now, what happened at some point in there was a sort of design change that I believe happened with the Rime. This is HTC Rime. This looks a lot closer to this device again. There are lots of round edges, but as you can see, it's purple. It has 1 panel on the back here that pops off, a small panel. There's a single LED. There's these little charging bits that makes you can set it in your charger, and it came with a bunch of stands and etc. So it's really a unique device. Then came this device, which I again think is rather derivative of the whole line, since what you're seeing with the other HTC device just came out in the USA that had beats is also similar to these, where it's really rounded on the edges. So what you got here for this device is a unique bit. I don't expect HTC to go back to this sort of a design, since it is really made to be unique. So there. The other device that came out today, or this week, that's running LTE for AT&T is a Galaxy S2 device. I'm just going to show you the Galaxy S2 that I have sitting here. This is AT&T Galaxy S2, the original. This has a smaller screen. It's the 4.32-inch screen. The one that you're going to see right now with LTE has a much more gigantic screen, much closer to the Infuse, which was the Galaxy S1 version of this device, which means it has a screen about that big. It's got the same amount of pixels in there, but this newer device has LTE. So check that out too. We'll have a review of that and this device up. I'm sure you're already in the device review of this one right now, this weekend. Check it out.